Hey guys, give me a second. I really need to charge my phone, but I need to use my phone while I do this. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way. I want to stream from Instagram, but I want to use my phone. So I don't think I did not bring my iPad here. Give me a second. Hey guys, come on in. So we're gonna be doing a video today, and why is there a line? You wonder why there's a line over my video. Can you guys see a line where it says the number 3, or is that just me? Let me see if I minimize it and bring it back up if it does the same. There's a line. Okay, whatever. I don't. Do you guys see a line over my video if you're on Facebook? Maybe not. Hey guys, how are you? It is your girl Genesis. We're gonna get started into this. I have been going very hard with content, pretty much doing a class a day. And I figured I would just maximize this week to put out as much content as possible. Awesome classes, knowledgeable classes. Yesterday I was supposed to send out the profit calendar. That did not happen because if you're on my list, you'll know that you did not get it. You're going to get it tonight. I'm sending out proposals tonight in email, so I'll have that to you guys. It's been a very busy past 24 hours, but it's been very productive. So let's get into today's video. This is going to really help those of you who are knowledge-based experts. We touched on a few ideas for product development, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper and really bring in the strategy for today. So this is going to be for service-based experts who are looking to take your knowledge and package it into products and services. You guys know that we divide it into 2 categories. You have your passive income. These are products that you make once that are on selling, evergreen products. And then you have what we call our active income. Active income are our services that require our energy. We have to be present for them to happen. So that may be consulting, one-on-one work, service providing, but those are your active income, live classes, live trainings, masterminds where you physically have to show up to produce. So today we're going to take a step back and we're going to start at the very beginning of what I would tell any expert as far as, okay, Gigi, I have my topic. I know what it is that I want to teach people about. Where do I start? And this is really going to lay the groundwork for the for the Secure Summit that I'm hosting here in Delaware, because I have experts coming who are in different subjects and categories. And my focus is to teach them on how to build the system that's going to work for them, what the system looks like, and they're going to execute on the spot. So I'm going to use this video as like a tilling of the ground beginner. These are things that you need to think about as we get started. So the first thing, I think I'm going to actually go on Instagram just for a little bit. I don't have that much memory, but I don't have that much battery. I think I'm on like 23%. So let me put Instagram up just for a little bit. So we're going to first talk about where do you first start? And then where do you go from there? Because it's a lot that there's a lot that that you're going to focus on. But we're going to first start with a basic focus. So I got Instagram up, so we're good. We're going to start with a basic focus, and then we're going to work through how you need to build and shift everything. So the first thing that you're going to do is you need to know, number one, what are you going to teach people, right? The first place we start is, what am I going to teach people? And it has to be broad enough to where what you're going to teach people can be built out across time, right? So it could be, for instance, Dave Ramsey's main message, right, is to get people out of debt. So Financial Peace University, it was like his core products, right? Which at first was a physical, where he was physically going to churches and teaching. Then he got smart and he automated it with the passive income of the online, videos and downloadables and, books and workbooks and a whole system and kit. But you have to have a mission, right? Which is, where is it that I want to take people? So it's not just what do I want to teach people, but the question really of itself is, where do I want to take people? So by the end of people working with you, what is the goal? What are they going to have? What are they going to experience? What are they going to, what's going to transpire, right? So we don't just start a platform and say, oh, I would love to teach people about hair. Okay, great. So let's say you are a hairstylist, you've been successful in the industry, and now you want to teach other hairstylists how to build their business, right? Okay. So you can't just say, "Oh, I want to teach hairstylists how to build their business." Okay, build their business to become what? Build their business in what way? What is going to be, as I like to say, your model? What's going to be your system that you create? So once I know what I want to teach, the next thing I have to do is to create a system. Every expert has to create their system. I have a system that I teach all the time. That's why a lot of times when you watch me, you're going to hear a lot of repetitive stuff because I teach it in a certain way and I don't stray away from how I teach it. So when you think about building your platform around your knowledge or around your expertise, you first have to know, where am I taking people? What do I want to teach people? The second thing is, what is the model? What is my model of how I teach? I use Dave Ramsey a lot. It's just because it's a perfect example. So Dave, when we look at educators like Dave Ramsey, things like that, right? Where you're talking about, you take something that you want to teach, you monetize it into passive and active income. So if I'm an expert and I want to divide out myself into passive income streams and active income streams, right? The first thing that I'm going to do is I have to build a one-on-one system. This is like the first model that all of your tribe members go through, all of your, your community members, right? So for instance, when people come through my tribe, they come through Boss Builders. Boss Builders you have the Boss Builder workbook, you have the one-on-one courses, right? So when someone's coming through my pipeline as an expert, you have to have at the core a one-on-one product. Right. So this is what we're talking about for Facebook and YouTube and Instagram's kind of getting the behind the scenes, right? Which is what's going to be your one-on-one core product. I preach this all the time. People don't want to listen. They want to have their knowledge-based business and not have any organized products. As an expert, you can't just crank out random products in random books, random workbooks. Oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, I want to talk about this. So I'm going to make a product here. I'm going to do a webinar here. I'm going to do a video course here. It has to all be within a system, right? Because technically you're guiding your customer and your tribe through a path. Right? So for instance, let's go back to the hairstylist who wants to start an education hairstylist company or consulting and learning, where basically your goal is to teach other hairstylists how to basically build successful businesses just like you have. Okay. So the first thing, right, is that I should probably create a 101. This is like a core basic, either a book, workbook, or a course. Now, for me personally, you guys know how I feel. Start with a book, because a book is a low cost product, but you need to also have a course because we're in an education-based world now. So having an online course would be the perfect upsell. And I think that the book and the course are perfect. So after they do that, okay, what's next? You have to actually have a product development map as an expert. You don't just say, oh, I just need to create something, so I'm just going to create this. Okay, well, what comes next? What comes after that? Do you have a map of how you want the customer to go through purchasing with you? Just like we did the profit plan on Tuesday, just like we did yesterday, we did the profit plan first, then we did the profit website yesterday. We've been working all through. So if you've missed our YouTube videos and our live streams, go to my YouTube channel, Genesis Dorsey, catch up, okay? But everything has to have a plan and everything has to have a map. So if I want to be an expert that teaches other hairstylists how to create the business I have, or if I'm a financial expert and I want to teach people on how to have financial freedom, I need a map. I can't just crank out random products. You have to have a map. So they start here with the one-on-one product. Where do they go to next? What happens after that? What happens after that? Let's say you serve 3 different demographics. With Dave Ramsey, he has different demographics that he serves. He didn't start there, but that's what he branched out to do. And what he did was he got personalities to head up these demographics. So you have Rachel Cruz, who heads up the children. You have Anthony O'Neill, who heads up college kids. You have Chris Hogan, who handles retirement or older families and couples and individuals. So he serves different demographics, and there are certain products for those demographics, and they have their own path. But there still is a one-on-one product, which is Financial Peace University. So outside of my one-on-one, I also may have products and services that are targeted to the different demographics that I serve within my community. Hey, Indiana. So I may, let's say, for instance, I'll give a perfect example, my audience. My focus is teaching people how to build platforms, okay? And what I mean by platforms is basically your website, your social media channels. I focus on building the platform. I'm not going to teach you about how to do your taxes. I'm not going to teach you on how to do your accounting. I'm not going to teach you how to do your legal stuff. My focus is how do you gather people? How do you build a movement? How do you build that platform, getting people to come? And then how do you monetize on the community that you're gathering? Which is why we talk about developing products and services, because that is your form of monetizing your platform, right? So when people come to my platform, everyone wants to learn, first of all, how do you build your platform? How do you start getting people? How do you get them interested? How do you get them engaged? How do you build a really meaningful platform that's set apart, right? That's the one-on-one stuff. So that's why I wrote Boss Builder, the workbook, because it answers and takes you through, for businesses and ministries, how to build your platform, okay? But then guess what? I have an e-commerce community. My e-commerce community is asking me, okay, Gigi, how do I start my t-shirt business? How do I start my planner and journal business? Okay, how do I build a Shopify store that works? How do I have a successful e-commerce company? So those are different platforms, and so I have an e-commerce sector, okay, within my community that I teach, and that's like we had a huge successful t-shirt boot camp in June, right? But guess what? I have another audience as well. I have an audience that's focused on service-based. So I have a lot of creatives who follow me. I have a lot of people who are in certain service-based cleaning companies, fitness companies. And so they're asking me, well, how do I, as a service-based business, build my platform? So I also have to have products that speak to service-based, which is why this month I'm doing a boot camp on six-figure design, which is teaching creatives, web and graphic designers how to build a six-figure business as a design owner, right? So what I do is I have a core product, and then I have sub-products that feed certain demographics within my tribe. Okay, so don't cut your money short when you're an expert. You need to have a one-on-one product, and one-on-one, again, book is always my first product. Then for me, I go to an online course, okay, because remember, books have cap value. Books are workbooks. And then from there, I branch out to serve the demographics within my community. So do you guys have that? Okay, so that means that for my homework, if you're doing homework, if you're like, Genesis, what do I need to do after I watch this video? Because I'm all about execution, right? So hey, Angelic Smith. Okay, hey guys on YouTube. So the first step you're going to do is you need to figure out, number one, what am I going to teach people to do? And where am I going to take them? You cannot, oh my gosh. I have watched so many people launch platforms, turn into business coaches, turn into coaches for anything pretty much. And one of my biggest pet peeves is that they're not taking people anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm following you, but what's going to happen when I get done experiencing you? Like, what is my end result, right? Otherwise, you're going to find yourself blending in like everyone else as an expert or a consultant or a coach, right? So I give a perfect example for me. One of the biggest things that I am big on is execution. And people know this because when you watch any of my classes, videos, I give you, number one, I don't give you sugar. I don't sugarcoat. I say, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Okay. I give you plans. Okay. And then usually at the end of every video, I'm going to give you execution, because I don't like it when we talk about things we could do and all that. And at the end of the day, the question is, how do you grow your business? That's all I care about. Okay, I don't, we can talk today about encouraging you and motivating you. Okay, great. But at the end of the day, it is your job to grow your business. So for me, everyone knows that when you come to Gigi, you're going to get, number one, you're going to get the execution. If I'm your coach, you better do something. Okay, you're not just going to sit here and tell me about your dreams. Okay. The next thing is that I take people to execution. So I don't just talk about it, but I actually give you ways to execute. Okay. So when people work with you, what are they going to experience? Or are they just talking? Are you just talking? So you have to have a goal, right? So like, for instance, when I work with my customers or my clients, when they hire me as their coach to build their platforms, My promise to them is that when you work with me, I'm going to teach you on how to not just build something, but how to make it work for you. So the reason why my clients sign on with me as their coach and as their consultant is because they know that Gigi's not just going to tell us what we need to do. She's going to give us the business background and make sure that it actually makes money for us. Because how many times has someone sold you, okay, you need to sign up for this, you do it this way, and it's like, okay, great, but how's it going to make me my money back, right? So for a lot of my clients, they hire me because of the fact that they know that when they work with me, they are going to have a plan to make the money back. Okay. And so you have to make sure that as an expert, you are providing a promise of execution to them. So what is that? The third thing that you need to do after you do that is that you need to figure out what is your product development plan. Every expert and consultant who's looking to build an online following and to monetize, let's say a larger tribe, and you're not working with like, one or two clients a month, you want to have an online platform, you want to, build an international tribe, you want to sell to people all around the world. You need to have a product development plan. And if you don't have one, make one today or this weekend. Okay. Product development plan is simply what is the first product that they experience? What happens next? What happens next after that? If it divides out from there, so let's say everybody comes through that one-on-one path, then they divide out into sub-product paths based upon specific needs or demographics, then what are those paths, right? So like Dave Ramsey, if you want to learn about retirement, they have products for retirement. If you want to learn about, helping your college kid while they're, need to save and, get ready for the real world, there's a path for that. If you are someone who just wants to learn how to get out of debt, there's a path for that. If you are trying to teach your children, your little kiddies about, financial planning, there's the path for that. So after the one-on-one plan, which is to get out of debt, then there's individual plans for what comes next. So Dave Ramsey, that's why I talk about him all the time, because for me, he's mastered the idea of monetizing knowledge. That's why he's just one of my favorites. Not even because of what he teaches, but because of how he's taken knowledge and he's been able to package it so well. Whether or not you're into the Christian financial principles or not, that man has mastered how to take your knowledge and then package it correctly. So once you have your product development plan, you now need to develop your products. You don't develop your products immediately. You don't just say, okay, I'm going to do all 3 products in 1 year. You have to think about where you are within your tribe. Okay. In my opinion, when you're first getting started, do 2 to 3 products. And then from there, develop out. So you should not launch your business and have all 30 products done, because I think that too, as you grow as a business owner, especially as an expert owner, where you're providing your expertise, your knowledge will develop. So I believe that over time, you should come up with certain products as your knowledge develops. When I first learned about dropshipping t-shirts, I did not do a class because I didn't just want to be someone, let me not shade, but there are many people who teach these online t-shirt courses and they don't have expertise. They just teach you on how to sign up for a Printful account, how you can drop t-shirts, for free and I'm just like, that's the basics. You can go on YouTube for that. That's free, So what I did was I waited until I was an actual expert where I could give expert advice and say, don't do things this way, do it that way, and this is why, right? So sometimes just because you're knowledgeable about something does not mean you need to make a product about it yet. Wait until you become an expert, because technically that's why people are coming to you, because you are an expert. So if I just learned about insurance, I'm not going to do an insurance class because you just learned about it. Wait until you have the expertise. What is expertise? Expertise is basically where you can apply discernment and help teach people on what to avoid and what to do. Not just, oh, here are the steps, but actually helping to prevent them from issues within running those types of businesses, okay? So after you do those one-on-ones, after you have developed, and really launched your first couple of products, now what you're going to do is you're going to let time tell. A lot of people who build expert-based businesses, they're cranking out ebooks like using the bathroom. I know that was like a really blunt example, but that's probably the best way I can do it. You use the bathroom like, hopefully if you have a good, system in your body, you use it at least, 2, 3 times, hopefully a little more a day, right? Well, that's technically how people are cranking out books, ebooks, classes, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, Okay. Let me teach you something that is very important when it comes to a knowledge-based business. The way that you run something is how you have to maintain it. So if you want to do 30 ebooks a month, and that's what your tribe gets used to, the moment you only do one, they're not going to feel so hot. Okay. You want to do classes every other week, you know, whatever. Listen, how you bring a horse to water is how he's going to have to be fed. Do you understand me? So a lot of times we're trying to just pump out content and products, and your tribe has to, number one, develop trust with you. That's why we start with just one product, a book. And for me, a book and an online course. Okay. But don't just be someone who cranks out content. Okay. That is the worst way to build as an expert, because people will see you as someone who's just cranking out random bits of knowledge. Experts, they stand by certain products, and you see those products continuously all the time, right? And that's what really builds and cements them as an expert. That's also what makes people recommend certain courses, because they have like this like master course that they do every year, every whatever. And so when people begin to recommend, oh, I want to learn how to build this kind of business. Do you know who I should probably follow? And they'll be like, oh, you need to follow Gigi. She does this t-shirt business class that everyone knows about. And the funny part is this. When I did my t-shirt business, my boot camp, t-shirt business boot camp this year, I had so many people recommend my boot camp, because of the main fact is I did not have 30 different types of boot camps about t-shirts. I only have one. That's it, just one. Okay. And because I was promoting it so hard, people were continuously tagging me, hey, I want to start my t-shirt business. What should I do first? You need to follow Gigi. You need to take her online boot camp. Right. And so you have to have a focus. You do not want to be a scattered expert. So that's why I said 2 to 3 products, and push those out consistently over the course of a year to 2 years, get your sales up in those areas, and then branch out. Right. But people are out here selling, all these different types of products as experts, and you haven't even gotten a certain amount of sales in each product to even prove, or to my opinion, to even say to me, okay, Gigi, I'm ready to create another product, right? It's like authors who have a first book. They didn't even sell their first book that well. Now they want to write another one. Now they want to write another one. Well, you didn't even sell the first 2 well. So it's about, and this is big, in product development as an expert, and I said this last night, don't be a product hoarder. A product creation hoarder. Let me tell you what a product creation hoarder is, if you're ready for this, okay? Because I know many people are like this. I don't want you guys to become this, okay? But just listen. A product creation hoarder, this is also for businesses. These are people who are addicted to creating, but they never have the patience to let something sell. So what they do is they create a book, or they, make a product, right? And this is why when I teach about product development, you'll always see that I am more focused on what happens after you create the product, and not just create the product. People are like, oh, Genesis, like, can you give me a vendor list? Now there are people who do sell vendor lists, and I'm not against them at all. I think it's awesome. But you have to learn what to do once you get it. Because people think that, okay, I'm gonna start a business. I just need to know, where do I go? Where do I start? Right? Okay, great. Okay, great. Just know how to create the book. I just know how to create the product. Okay, great. Once you create the product, the course, the book, the coaching program, okay, that's not the height, because at the end of the day, what is the point of having a business? I know we're gonna say purpose. I know we're gonna say impact. But guess what? If you aren't making any money, tell me how long you will continue to impact. If you can't pay your light bill from your business, tell me how long, okay, you're going to keep on walking in purpose. You'll be walking in purpose in the dark with a phone bill that's cut off, with a car that is repossessed. I'm all about purpose and impact. I love it. Yes. But if I'm not getting paid, at some point you will be frustrated. So this is why, for a lot of people too, who work full-time jobs, I'm about to come from my full-timers. I love y'all, but hear me out quick. For those of you who work full-time businesses and have a business on the side, don't let your full-time business make you lazy and turn you into a hoarder. Because see, when you have money to shell out to create things on the side and you have a main job that's sustaining you, so it's not as if you don't work, some people, they don't really feel the pressure of their business because of the fact that they still have options. So for instance, and the thing is that you need to have a full-time job, especially if you need that as your main income. But don't let it make you lazy. Because see, what will happen is you have money coming in to spend on your business. So when things don't work well in your business, you don't really feel the impact because it's not as if your business do well, you won't be able to pay the bills. No, you'll be able to pay the bills because you have a full-time job, right? But if you did not have a full-time job, would you keep on doing all the mess that you're doing right now in your business? Because see, with the full-time job, you're not feeling the weight of the bad decisions because you're being paid. So it's like, oh, my full-time job, I get a check, So if you went out here, okay, and paid all this money for your business, right? You paid all this money for your business, and look, you have product in your house. You're not even pushing it out like you should. And guess what? You're not even feeling it because you're getting paid at your main job. So you're like, oh, I got like 50 things in inventory in my house. Okay, I didn't push that much this year. I didn't push this out this month. Oh well, you know what I mean? I'm getting paid, right? But guess what? If that was the only job you had, I promise you will be pushing those books out every day. You'll be pushing out those, whatever it is you sell, socks, lashes, okay, cell phone cases. You had a grass cutting company. I promise you that whatever type of business you have, if that was the only type of business that you had, I promise you will be going harder. And see, I have to do this. See, I can't talk. So you can't say, well, Gigi, you just don't understand. No, because here's my thing. I work for the family business every day. So my full-time job is working for my parents in the family business, right? So all of my 3 businesses that I have, right, they're technically side businesses because I work full-time for the school, right? So what I'm telling y'all, I got to do for myself. Okay, because I'll get home, and because I'm getting a consistent paycheck, okay, and I have all the other, I can be like, I'm good. I'm not even going, I'm good. I'm Gucci, and it's like, wait, hold on. So you're going to treat your own dream like a side chick, but you're going to treat your main job like your main, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, like your main, you know what I mean? So it's like, I got to fix my mindset. So this is why I tell people don't become a product creation hoarder, because what you'll do is you'll write all these books and you don't sell none of them. Or you know what? You announce it, hype for 2 months. You launch a business, get some prizes, some inventory. You're hyped for 2 or 3 months. Then you get bored. So then you stop pushing it, but you got all this inventory and stuff in your house. And you have a conversation. Okay. Well, I mean, I have inventory options. Okay, that you even see. This is my thing. See, sometimes because you don't have inventory, sometimes that even makes you even more lazy because you don't have anything sitting in your house. So it's not like you're incurring any charges. So I see people who start I'll coach them on how to start a drop ship t-shirt business. That's like people who come in my boot camp and like, oh, drop ship, I don't have to pay anything up front. Awesome. So now you don't even feel the weight of inventory in your business, right? So you don't even push hard because it's like, well, if no one buys anything, it's not like I have to incur any expenses. Don't make your business model make you lazy, okay? But then on top of that, don't, like I said before, do not become a product creation hoarder. I do not want to hear about the fact, don't brag to me about the fact that you've written 30 books and you haven't sold enough. How did you even afford to have the time to write all those books and you're not even a millionaire with 30 books? Something wrong. Something wrong. You've launched 20 different side hustles and you're still not rich. Something is wrong. At some point, you have now become a creation hoarder. So as a product development person, as I'm talking to you, I need you to realize you need to focus. You need to find a focus. You need to find a ship, okay, and place your butt on it and don't get off that ship until that ship becomes a yacht. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. When I started my business, I was on a little Simon Peter Jesus boat. Okay, that boat was about this big, okay, with like one little sail, and I had about one broken paddle. It wasn't a whole paddle, about like half a paddle, okay? So here I am starting my business. I'm not a yacht yet, okay? I'm just starting my business, okay? As I grew in focus, my boat got a little bit bigger, then it got a little bit bigger, now we're not a yacht yet, but baby, we getting there, okay? So what I'm saying is that don't be that person who's at the seashore trying to ride 30 boats. Talking about, oh my God, I'm just grinding. Gotta get on this boat. Get on the one, get on the boat. That's how some of y'all look. Okay, you hustling lashes, t-shirts, socks, a side service business. Focus, my friend. Mi amigo Gonzalez, okay? I need you to focus, okay? So what we're talking about today is, if you are next, let me bring myself back to the shore, okay? Because I could go on a tangent with this, okay? I'm tired of seeing this mess, okay? What I'm telling you to do as an execution plan, okay, is number one, if you are an expert, if you are a business owner, okay, you need to figure out what the heck are you doing? Okay, what is your plan as far as what is going to be the thing that you're doing for people? Number two, what is the experience that you're promising them? Okay, so it's not like, oh, if I'm an expert, I say, oh, I teach people how to build platforms. Okay, building it is easy. What am I going to get after you build it? What kind of effect am I going to get? What's going to be the result of you building it? People don't just wake up and say, oh my gosh, I want socks. Well, some people do. I've done that before. But most people are saying, I need socks because I need them for my outfit. No one wakes up and says, oh my God, I need a tank top. No, I need a tank top for an outfit. No one says, oh my God, I just want swimsuits. No, you need a swimsuit for the beach or to take a picture on Instagram so everyone can see your butt. You know what I mean? So everyone has a purpose, okay? But no one wakes up and says, oh, I just want a product. There is a reason for why people want products. That's why when people, do planners and journals, I have, potential clients will say, oh, I just want to create a planner or journal. I'm like, for what reason? Because the money is in the reason. The money's not in the fact that you want to create something. If you want to create something, go make it yourself and then have it for yourself. Open up the box and say, oh my gosh, it's mine. Close the box and put it away. Okay, but don't say, Genesis, I want to manufacture 1,500 journals, okay, and you don't have a purpose, okay? You just want to create some. So what I'm saying is you have to have a purpose for creation. The third thing that you want to do is that you want to make sure that you build a one-on-one product. Every great business has a one-on-one product, one-on-one collection. We talked about this in the t-shirt business boot camp, right? So everyone has to have a one-on-one. Instagram, you may go soon because I think my phone's going to die. I got to see what. Oh, it's on 1%. This is about to die. I'm sorry. You know what? Let me get the charger. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me get the charger. I really don't want this to die. I don't want y'all to die because y'all supposed to live and not die. So I'm going to have to hold it. Hold on. Facebook is getting my whole body shot. Lord Jesus. Listen. There's no perverts on here. Hold on, y'all. This is so hood. I'm trying to put this charger in while I'm live stream. I'm trying to be professional. Okay, there we go. I'm going to hold Instagram in my hands. I'm just going to hold y'all. I love y'all, so I'm holding y'all. Okay, so you focus. I look real light skin. Okay. So what I want you guys to do again after you do that is to develop your one-on-one products, right? So these are either one-on-one products or one-on-one services. You master those crafts first. This is important. You master those crafts first. So this is how I know that I can create another product. A lot of people said, Genesis, I thought you were creating another journal, and I am still working on it, but I have slowed down my product creation, okay? Because what I've learned is if I am not selling, if I'm not doing an awesome job at selling what I already have, unless I need to innovate maybe my current services, I need to master why I have not sold what I currently have, right? So it's like let's say you get inventory and you did not sell out of the inventory that you have. Why didn't you sell out? Don't just say, oh, we just need more and more and more. That'll change it. A lot of times we think that new is better. Like, the answer to our problems is always, oh, let me just do something new. Let me just do something new. But you have to have, again, a process to your madness to make sure that, is it the fact that you need new products, or is it the fact that you need a new mindset or a new plan of how you're selling what you're selling? Sometimes you don't need new services. You need to change how you sell your services. Maybe you are not going as hard in the paint as you say you do, right? As I always say, you cannot complain if you're not consistent. You can't say that something is not working if you were not consistent in the plan that you had. That's why on Tuesday we did the profit plan. Because if I don't have a plan to profit this month, if I don't know how many, if I'm a barber, if I need to cut this many heads, these many days, okay? So then guess what? If I'm not focused on being booked and I'm waiting for people to call me, that may be a reason why you're not hitting your profit goals, because you're waiting for people to buy from you. You're waiting for your phone to ring. Okay, but am I going out and making sure that I'm doing my part to market myself to hit the goals that I need to hit? Right? So this is why we don't wait on clients. We don't just say, oh, I just hope somebody, as the saints used to say, oh, come by here, Lord, come by here. The Lord don't need to come by. The Bible says the Lord lives already on the inside of you. What you waiting on? Right? It says, come by here, Lord. Somebody's crying. Lord, come on by. What we waiting on? What? So that's an example of in business. What you waiting for a customer to come on by and do, huh? You have social media, okay? Have you maximized your social media? Do you network? Do you grow more contacts, or do you just know the same people you already know? And then when you go and network, you network with the same people every day. People say, oh, just I tried the networking thing. Just I network all. Yeah, but you network with the same people, so you don't have any new contacts. So you're not networking. That's a social event, right? So guess what? If I need to drive an hour away, this is important. This is how I maximize myself in my sales. So if I know that I need to fill up more in my sales, fill up more in hitting my profit plan, then maybe I need to drive an hour out, go to another city and go to a networking event over there. Maybe I need, instead of, if I've met all the contacts that I know that I've met in my area, guess what? You need to invest then to leave your area, go to another area and dominate that area. Who said your money has to always be local? You're telling me that I was talking to a barber a couple days ago. Man, I got him together in a quick conversation. So I was talking to him and he was like, I already know everybody. He's trying to brag to me about how he knows everybody. Well, if you know everybody, why you broke? And that's actually what I told him. I have to watch sometimes how I talk to men, because it's not men, it's just certain people. Because like when I ask questions, it's not even like offensive. Like it's an honest, like, yeah, but if you knew everybody, you wouldn't be talking to me, because I'm the one who would teach you how to build the platform. So you don't need to talk to me if you know everybody, because you know everybody, you should be booked, right? So here's what I told him. I had to kind of, rescue the conversation, because I was a little strong, a little strength with it, you know what I mean? So I said, well, let me put it like this. I said, you may know everyone that you claim to know, but if you don't know who's supposed to pay you, you don't know anybody, right? So we said, oh, I know so-and-so, I know so. But if you don't know the people who are supposed to pay you, you have more people to meet. Because sometimes the people that you're talking to are not your audience. They're not your target market. So you may know so-and-so who's a mayor and so-and-so who does this and so-and-so. But if they're not the ones who is, you need to expand your network. You need to meet people who are strangers. If everyone you know has a common mutual friend, your circle is not big enough. You need to meet more people. These are not your friends. These are your business acquaintances. So we're not talking about people who are going to be over your house and, shoot the breeze with you. But I'm talking about actual professional contacts. So you want to go to different cities and network. You want to do what we call, we talked about this yesterday, but we call it cross networking. So I'm not just going to network with people who do what I do. I'm going to go to networking events or social events or conferences or summits that have my target audience, right? So that means that way I'm meeting people who would be potential customers and leads. Right? So those are ways that basically I'm expanding how I'm going to hit my goals. Does that make sense? Y'all got that? Y'all got that? Okay. So then the next thing that we're going to do after we have analyzed how we're going to hit our goals and what we're going to do, you need to build a product plan. Now, I want to add this on for service-based businesses, because as I was talking to the barber that I was, trying to expand his mind with, and hopefully he got it. One of the things I asked him was, what is the plan that you have for a customer when they're getting their haircut, right? So he's like, oh, we do haircuts. You give clients, you get the haircut. And one thing I told him, I said, well, that means that you'll just be a barber, but I want to turn you into an expert. So develop a customer plan as far as things that you can do to bring them through a process. So let me explain what I meant so you guys can understand what I'm saying. So let's say I come for my first haircut. right? I come for my first haircut, right? And you guys know that underneath this beautiful extensions, okay, I have my natural hair. My natural hair is actually very short, okay? Under these extensions, I have very natural hair, okay? So I actually have gone to many barbershops. I do not have a favorite barber right now for several reasons. And so I laid out for him from a entrepreneurship standpoint how to stand out. So when I come to you for my first haircut, first of all, don't treat me as just another head in your chair. Okay. You should treat me as a new customer coming through your pipeline of services. So let's say, for instance, I get a traditional cut, right? So why don't you build for me a plan to nurture my hair, or you ask me what my hair goals are? Now, for a man, he may just say, okay, I just want to get my shape ups. Well, develop for me like a shape up plan where basically, every 2 weeks, I know that right now we have you on, shape ups, right? So that means that, after I get my hair cut, you're going to send me an automated email or text. I'm telling these barbershops need to get this together. Automated barbershop, or text that reminds me to book my next appointment. Right. I went to a barbershop and, they had an app. So they were like, when you get ready to book, you just do it through the app. But I was thinking to myself, well, why is it that I have to still remind you may have an app, but why do I have to remind myself to get a haircut? I should be in some kind of pipeline system as for my barbershop or even in a hair salon where you remind me of the services that I need to have. Because as a woman, listen, with a life, I forget sometimes. I do forget. So I was talking to him. I said, listen, build a pipeline out for your customers. So you're not just a regular barber, but you are a barber who now is an expert. So you're not just cutting my hair. You're doing more than just making sure I have a shape up or a cut, but you're actually bringing me through a development process so that when I sit in your chair, I'm not just sitting in a chair. I'm sitting in a chair of someone who takes care of my hair, right? So use technology, right, along with your services to really stand out as an expert. In Delaware, unfortunately, I have not sat into a barber's chair yet that has a mixture of these things. That reminds me about when I have services, that treats me more than another head in their chair for $30, right? Right? So even though, because I've had barbers who, they educate me about my hair, what I need to put in, but it's like there's no relationship created though. Right. And I'm not saying that you need to date me. Oh my God, no. What I'm saying is that you need to then put me into a CRM system, okay, that thanks me, number one, for coming to your chair, okay? Because to be honest, this would help me to pay more. I would pay more for an average cut if I knew that the experience that I was getting was more than average, right? We talk about, well, I can't charge more than this price. It's because of the experience that you provide. You can charge more when the experience is more. Does that make sense? So this goes for stylists. This goes for, even like, grass cutting services, reminding, your customers about when their next grass cutting is, if it's in the next 2 weeks, developing a plan for their landscape growth. When you become a business that actually has a targeted goal for your customers, if you own a boutique, let's say you own a fashion boutique, right? And I suggest this to a few people. They still have not executed, so I don't know what the heck they're doing. So that's on them. But I just got really loud. So let's say you own a hair boutique, right? Wow. You're just getting started. I'm talking about you have no customers, you have an online store, but you're just getting started, right? Okay. I would develop a VIP experience. Now, hear me out. So don't just jump. I hear what it means, okay? So you have clothing that you need to get out your house or get out your office, right? Hopefully you have it physically in your store, because that's really the best way to get products out the door fast. So you have inventory in your house, inventory in your office, right? And what I would do is I would begin to develop a list of clientele who number one, they have no problem paying for your products, okay? And what you do is that when new inventory comes in, you don't just let it just be added to your site. You call, you send pictures, you send text messages, right? Again, you want to first establish a relationship with these clients. Let them know that you are, of course, what I do, I would use my friends and my family, church family network, people I have connections to, and start to build up a clientele list there. Then I would go to more networking events and begin to separate myself more than just I own a boutique. But what we do as a boutique is that we provide basically pieces that fit your needs. So if, let's say, for instance, you have upcoming events, for the office, we're going to let you know when we have new blouses coming in that are going to fit. We're going to pair them up and let you know, hey, to one of our favorite customers, hey, Cindy, letting you know of some new inventory pieces that are coming in. I know that you talked to us about how, you're looking for some more pieces for the office, so I would have notes on my customers, right? But see, these are technically hot leads that are willing, that are willing to buy from you, right? But you're creating an intimate customer experience. Does that make sense? So instead of me waiting on people to buy from me, I would create this like side experience VIP list that I call, okay? And when new pieces come in, I'm letting them know ahead of time. Hey, we have these new pieces coming in the next 2 weeks. Let me know if you see anything that you like, right? And so what does that do? Outside of having an online store, but outside of vending, outside of pushing my products out, I am now creating a experience, right? For my guaranteed people who I know will buy from me consistently, but I'm creating an experience, right? This would include too, down the road, and again, these are just little ideas, it depends upon what your business is, right? But like, for instance, Ubering outfits, like, let's say you have clients who, they're busy, they work in the office, they are very busy, have a crazy schedule. So then you can charge them a certain fee if they're in a certain radius for you to drop off their outfits. And it will be a VIP charge. They will pay more for it, but it will be basically getting that inventory out the door into your customers' hands, having that branded t-shirt on that has your boutique on it, maybe inside your car has a little magnet sticker that has your boutique on it. I even recommend it to a woman. I'm not sure if she did this idea. It was on a live. I gave her this idea, but she owned a church women's boutique. So it was like a boutique that was for like church women, church dresses, church hats, all that kind of stuff. And you know that people in church pay so much money. They may not tithe. They may not put anything in the offering, but they're going to definitely have a $100 hat on. They will have a $200 dress on, okay? So what I told them was they were located in, I think it was Southern Delaware, right? So I said, well, why don't you create, because there are online boutiques that I know, like K Mills Collection, I know is one that does a lot of like church dresses and things. And there are I think there's one called like Ashuro, that's like a magazine, like for older women, like a magazine based church dress hat place. With the women order from the catalog. My mother still gets them. But I can't think of a younger church store, for, based in millennials, and maybe reaches out to older generations as well, that is branded for church wear. And it fits the more modern and younger crowd. I cannot think of one. Not one. Especially I live in Delaware, so I cannot think of one in Delaware that, has the church dresses, hats, brooches, pins, just all things that would fit for church. I can't think of one. And I can't think of one that first ladies, women, in the traditional denominations, in Delaware, where it would be their number one ordering spot. I cannot think of one, right? So it's a market that is definitely viable, definitely scalable, okay? And you could start local, where you buy a few pieces, you target, you send out you send them out to leadership, you go to church conferences, you vend, you pop up in different locations as the number one women's church store in Delaware. I would start local. I would start that way. And then you would have an online store so that if they cannot come to you physically or you cannot come to them, they can buy from the store. I would offer a VIP, drop-off location that they can either come to the store or you can come to them in like an Uber way kind of thing, where they book a drop-off time. And the problem is that people don't believe that they can do all of that, right? I mean, think about it. I could put all the clothes in my home office, right? Call, network, start to develop a list of people, right? Develop my VIP list, right? Pop up at little vending locations and all sorts of stuff. Have a well-branded business, right? Colors on point, logo everywhere, colors everywhere, right? Our shopping bags match our color, all that. I could do all of that. But people, here's what happens. People want to be small-minded. And this is why when you guys follow me, I'm always going to push you to have a scalable idea, because I never want you to be so capped in your business that the only way you can monetize is through making small amount of money, a little bit here, a little bit there. When you build a business, that thing better be scalable. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're going to put blood, sweat, and tears into something, make sure that it has the ability to grow. It's like trying to plant a flower outside of dirt, right? It's going to be a flower. It's going to be amazing. But if you don't put it into the right soil, it will not create roots, right? And what do roots do? Roots allow the flower to be anchored. Why should a flower be anchored? Because when let's do a tree. I think a tree is an even better example. With a tree, you need to put it into soil, right? Because if you don't, it won't have roots. Now, the thing about a tree is that trees usually are made to withstand, weather conditions, different things, right? So when you build a business that is not scalable, it's like having a tree without being planted. Because you won't be rooted. You won't be able to grow. Because why? With no roots, you cannot access the nutrients that you need. I'm going somewhere with this. Hopefully you guys got this, right? So that's why when we talk about business, when you come into any of my lives, when you try to give me an idea, I'm going to always give you a way for it to go next so that you're not thinking small. Because will you have the ability to do everything at one time? No. But you can start with one idea. We scale and we master that idea. Then we go to the next idea. Like, with the idea of the Ubering with clothing, you may not do that now, right? But let's say you build up your VIP list and then you begin to do, for women who are in the office, their churches, you can drop off at their church, drop off dresses, drop off the brooches, drop off, you can scale to that where you have a little fleet of cars that go out every day, dropping off packages to your customers, right? You may not start there, but you can grow there. And the reason why we talk about this stuff now is so that I know where I'm going right now. See, as I always say, if you don't know where you're going next, you're already there. If you do not know where you want to go next, your pricing structure in your business is going to be incorrect because it cannot afford your next, right? If I know that my next move is to get office space, how much will my office space cost? Am I considering what I need to do now within my business to afford the office space? If I need to take on a loan to get the office space, what will the amounts be that I have to pay back? Can my business afford the loan as I go forward? Do I need to scale my business certain ways to afford the growth that I desire, right? So these are the things that I'm talking about. Why I'm talking about these things? So that you do not think small, so that you can build well. Guys, I'm done. I think we've tackled not just how to build it and not just how to be an expert and how to produce products and services accordingly, your one-on-one, your product development plan, but we also targeted retail today. We talked about retail. We talked about, different ideas on how you can target certain customers, right? So I'm almost done. So I'm just going to let you guys know what's happening as far as upcoming events and things like that, because I got to tell y'all, what we're doing in this tribe. So the first thing is that the Secure Summit, that's the most important thing. The Secure Summit is happening in July 18th to the 20th. And so people are flying in, driving up, driving down, driving across to Delaware. You're going to come to my state, which is the second smallest state. And I'm having a summit. And my summit is actually very different. And so the business intensive is the main focus. And it's for only 20 people. I was going to do it for all these people. I was like, no, 20 people. And it's because I got tired of conferences and events where I left with a notepad of ideas. And that was it. And I felt like for the price point that I was paying for certain things, I really needed to execute while I was there. And then you can give me some help about when I'm executing. And I realized that a lot of times it's kind of done like masterminds, and even masterminds, sometimes it's not even done. So I decided I need to provide my tribe with 3 days of me in front of them, not pushing them to execute, but executing in front of me, and then having access to me while they're executing to answer their questions right there on the spot, to be able to map out for them what their business should actually look like, for them to walk away after those 3 days with me with not a plan, but something already in progress, right? So and again, the focus for this, and I decided to provide a focus because I knew that I didn't just want it to be for everybody. So the focus is going to be building your knowledge-based business. That's the focus. So if you're an expert, a consultant, a coach, an author, a speaker, a consultant, all those different things, a service provider that may want to begin teaching people how to do what you do, then this is for you. Fitness expert, you're in food, and it's an investment. And the reason why is because you're not going to be sitting and then hearing me talk. Guess what we're going to be doing? Working. So the first day, which is July 18th, is for VIP. It is $799, I believe. Yeah, $799. And that does not include your flight, hotel. That is for you to spend time with me. It is an investment. We already have one VIP ticket taken, and we have another one that was taken, I think it was like earlier this past weekend. So 3 seats left. That's for 5 seats. So 5 seats are for the first day, which is the 18th. And then the 19th and 20th, which is Friday and Saturday, that's for everyone, including the VIP, which is a total of 20 seats. So 5 VIP, 15 regular business students. So the first day is just VIP. You're going to spend the whole day with me. And the point of the VIP is for you this is for students who don't really even have an idea of what they want. I mean, they don't have the inkling of what they want to do, or they are jumbled with all their ideas and they really need someone to help them sort out what the actual platform should look like, what their products and services should be. So the VIP gives you instead of it being 15 people, it's not only 5. And you work with me from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the itinerary is already up on my website. You can go to genesisdorsey.com and click on Secure Summit 2019, and you can go into the conference summit area. It's a whole different website, a whole different section. It has the itinerary. So you work with me from 9 to 5 p.m. That's work. Listen, 9 to 5, we have a mentor lunch in between where you're going to sit down and we're going to have a nice catered lunch. Oh, it's going to be so amazing. Catered lunch by actually one of our attendees. Really amazing. It's going to be, oh my God, this pesto stuffed chicken. Y'all know I like to eat. That's why I'm fluffy. So it's going to be amazing VIP. And we have men and women coming. So this is not this is men and women. We have a man who's coming who's actually, I believe, in the audio and production field. We have another guy who's coming who is in the branding and visual field, like creative field. So that's like branding, graphic design, styling. So we don't just have women coming. It is men coming as well. And we have a fitness expert who he's coming as well. He's going to be a general student. He's coming as well. So this is all about building your business. So that's what VIP is for. And then, hold on, we're not done. We have Friday and Saturday. So Friday and Saturday, let me just pull up the schedule so I can make sure I'm giving you guys the full breakdown, then we'll be done. So Friday and Saturday is for everybody. It is for our business students. And the business students is $497. Okay, so $497 gives you 2 days with me. So it's crazy because if you hire me as your coach, your one-on-one coach for 3 days where I spent 9 to 5 with you, you will be paying a minimum of $5,000 for the VIP experience, because that's what my clients currently pay to have me with them for actually 2 days. It's 2 days, not 3, 2. So you'll be paying $5,000. So the reason I'm doing the summit is because I knew that for people who are just getting started, you don't have that kind of money coming in yet, to be spending $5,000 for 2 days. Some of my clients do, but the majority don't. The majority don't have that. So with this price point, you are traveling to me, but you're getting that coaching experience. You're getting that execution right in front of me. So let me give you guys what happens with Friday and Saturday. And just to give you guys an idea of how the execution happens, every day you're executing. So I'm going to teach a little bit, then you execute. Teach a little bit more, then you execute. And then when you go back to your hotel room, you have homework to bring back the next day. Yeah, you have work to do. Oh yeah, because you're not paying. You're not paying to just take notes. Do you work? This is time for you to come to get stuff done, okay? Not to take notes. Listen, you can take notes. Take notes somewhere else. Go to another conference, take notes, okay? You're not going to take notes. That's not what you're paying for. Paying for execution. When you get done, the whole focus that when you leave Summit, the Secure Summit 2019, you will leave with a business already in motion, okay? And so let me get itinerary for it. So for Friday, we're going to start with building your platform, section 1, which is the framework. We're going to then go into building your platform, the tribe is section 2. We're going to break for lunch. Lunch is not included because you're paying for me. So lunch is not included. Lunch is included for the VIPs on Thursday. That's it. We come back. You're going to then go into product development. Then we're going to go into consulting and speaking, because that is an extension that I want you to learn how to build, okay? So we're going to consulting and speaking. Then we're going to go into business development and innovation. So I have a business development expert. This guy manages millions. Like, this guy's amazing. And I like people who are hidden giants. These are people who, they're not active huge on social, but for corporations, they're making them tons of money. And I wanted people within certain fields to really come and really pour into, those who are attending. So that's the business innovation growth. Then at the end of the day, you're going to sit down with me and the business development expert, and we're going to have a Q&A mastermind where you can ask questions. We're going to kind of have you guys go around the table and tell us what you're working on and what you've been able to produce that day. Then you go back to your hotel. That night, every night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we have night services. So these are Christian entrepreneur-based services. Thursday night is a worship experience. It starts in the evening. And then Friday night, I'm teaching. Friday night, I'm teaching, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And then Saturday, I'm teaching as well. So we come back on Saturday. If you're a business student, you're coming back on Saturday. And what you're going to do on Saturday is that we're going to start with the Wealth and Money Bootcamp. So the whole focus with this is that you're going to come to learn how to build your platform. But I also want to teach you on how to maintain and scale the platform. It's not enough for you to learn how to build something. Remember, you have to learn how to scale it. So it's going to be also a boot camp teaching you on how to hit millions through wealth building. That's investments, that is managing your finances that you already have. So we're going to have a wealth and money boot camp on Saturday morning with a guest accountant. I'm going to teach you on how to manage not just your personal finances, but also to your business finances to build for wealth. Then we're going to have an office and real estate investment class on how to expand your business with physical locations, warehouses, those kind of things that you want to begin thinking about. Then you're going to go break for lunch. Then you come back. We're going to also have another session on teaching you how to hire your staff, on how to build your team, or, if you're a speaker, as you branch to be a speaker and consultant, you got to start thinking about, traveling on the road, the kind of assistance that you're going to need to have, discrepancies that you probably need to start thinking about to protect you in your hiring process. Then you're going to go to your next session, which is protecting your mind and your money and legal matters. So this is going to teach you on, here's the biggest thing. As you build your business, you start to make more money, you have to realize that people will not like your growth. And you have to protect yourself legally from the mess of people. You guys remember that video that came out where that guy was at a fast food place and he put his cup to get some ice and he put the ice on the floor and tried to act like he had failed on it when really he had taken the ice, put it in front of his feet, and then tried to basically slip and break his back and then try to sue the company to get some money. But see, they had caught him on camera doing that mess. Well, see, as you grow, people will try to take advantage of your growth. So I also want to make sure that, after I've taught you how to build the platform, I then have to teach you on how to protect the platform that you built. And then at the end of the day, you're going to sit down with all of those experts from that day, and we're going to have a Q&A and a mastermind. So when you think about what you're going to do in those 3 days, that's a lot. Because again, it's focused on execution. So you're not coming to take notes. You're coming to execute. That's a lot. And so I wanted it to be something where people would come and say, this is worth me flying to Delaware. Think about Delaware of all places. It's worth me flying there. It's worth me traveling there. It's worth me investing in. Because when you look at a schedule like this and you look at the fact that you're going to be spending time with me, not with all these speakers, how you have all these speakers, and it's like, I didn't even come for the speaker. I came for the person hosting it. Right? So you're not coming from the speaker, you're coming for me. You're coming to say, Gigi, I'm going to sit in front of you. You're going to show me how to build my business. I'm paying you to show me how to build my business. You're going to show me how to do my product development. You're going to show me how to do this. That's what you're paying for. So again, it's July the 18th through the 20th. You can put down a deposit to save your seat, so you don't have to pay the full $497 for the regular or the $799 for the VIP. You actually can put on a deposit. The deposit saves your seat. That's what the deposit does. So it saves your seat, and then it's going to allow you to register for the rest of the end. So guys, I'm really excited about that. It's been an awesome, awesome, awesome journey. I've spent time traveling and teaching so many entrepreneurs and business owners, and I've done so much consulting work. So it's nice for the summer to kind of, be 27. I feel like as a consultant in what I do, I have to pretty much be like, a 45, year old, and I'm myself, but I'm just learning on how to, just enjoy myself and do some things during the summer, that are more relaxing and more where I just basically just get to create events that I really want to create. So that's pretty much that. The next thing is that July we have 2 boot camps happening at the same time. So I have an online boot camp happening, and then I have a virtual boot camp. So in July, the virtual boot camp is going to be the creating your own journal and planner business. You can put a deposit down. I believe it's of $75 to hold your seat. There are 19 slots left. And so if you ever want to learn how to launch your own planner or journal business, you wanted to create a journal or a planner, then that boot camp is coming up. Again, you can register by going to my website, and there should be a button that says tab summer boot camps. The next thing is that I'm not hosting, but I have been hired or contracted out to do a 4-week boot camp in Wilmington, Delaware, that's going to teach you on how to build your online e-commerce store. So you're going to be spending 4 weeks with me for about, I think it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes every week to learn how to build your e-commerce store. It's only $50. And so this is an awesome center called the Women's Business Center. They are sponsored and supported by the Small Business Association, which of course is a government program to help small business owners, and so it's the SBA, and so it's really awesome. You should definitely take advantage of it. So if you live near Delaware, or you are living in Delaware, for $50, you're going to have me as your coach for 4 weeks for 2 hours every week to teach you on how to build your online store. So if you want to see the full information, you can always go to what is it, the thing, I'll put out the link, because the link is like some long behind link, so I'll put up the link for that. If you're interested, just let me know about that. And then last but not least, I am going to be releasing some more information concerning some other dates coming up. There's just a lot happening. I want to make sure that the tribe isn't confused, with so many different events. So I'll be sending that stuff out to you. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys later. So bye, YouTube. I'll see you guys later.